super strong connection. Huh? Enemies. It's not just a hockey romance. I feel like I'm gonna like this one. Beautiful demon is going on a revenge tour. They're always drawn back to each other. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel if you're new here. I think it's Bookmas day like 9 or something like that. I'm both excited and kind of sad that Bookmas is almost coming to a close. I can't believe it already. It feels like we literally just started. And I know that I'm only doing 12 days, so that's probably why it feels like extra short for me, but still, it feels like it just went by super fast. But today we're going to be talking about the books that are my highest priority when it comes to moving into 2026. I've been seeing so many people talk about 26 books for 2026, but I do not have 26 books in this video. If you want to count the books in this video plus my winter hopefuls video, then that'll bring us roughly to 26-ish, maybe, possibly. I'm not really sure. I can't remember how many books I had in that video. These aren't any like new releases or anything. These are books that are out that I've just kept putting off and I really wanted to read but just kept dragging my feet. So the only overlapping book that I have with my winter hopefuls list is going to be Immortal Dark, so I'm not really going to talk too much about that one because it's already been in a past video and I think a video before that as well. So I do really want to read Immortal Dark. Now moving into the next book, Psychotic Obsession by Lee Rivers is a must read for me because I already read the Edge of Darkness trilogy and adored it. It was literally one of my favorite reads of the entire year. I loved it so much, and I know that I'm going to probably really enjoy this one as well. I feel like when it came to the Edge of Darkness trilogy, that had me in tears almost the whole way through. I love that trilogy so much, and if you haven't read it already, you totally should. I did a whole reading vlog on it, but I really want to read Psychotic Obsession. I feel like it's time for me to know about Arya and Tobias' story. If you aren't aware, Psychotic Obsession follows Cade's mom and dad, Arya and Tobias, and their story. When you read the Edge of Darkness trilogy, we know that Tobias is in like a mental institution. I can't wait to get their story and to really dive into their relationship because I thought their relationship was super interesting in the Edge of Darkness trilogy. The parents obviously have a super strong connection while they are not together, and Arya is married to somebody else. So I'm really interested to see how they got to that point because to my knowledge, this story is basically just their story on how they met, how they ended up falling in love with each other, and how Tobias ends up in a mental institution and all of that. So I'm very excited to read that. I've heard nothing but really good things about that, especially like the mental health representation, which I'm just really looking forward to. So now, keeping with Lee Rivers, I really want to read the Web of Silence duet. I don't know too much about this duet, actually. The only thing that I really know about this series is I believe the MMC is mute. He does sign language, and that's how he communicates. And I believe this one is like a step-siblings romance, but I'm going to look it up right now, and we're going to find out what this book is actually about. And I do know that this duet is in the same world of the Edge of Darkness trilogy. I'm going to read the blurb, since I don't really know too much about this one. Owning her is all he ever wanted. She betrayed him, and now he wants revenge against the foster sister who became his forbidden obsession the second he laid his eyes on her. After she sends him to prison for years, he's free and ready to haunt her. Wait, what? He was in prison? I didn't know that. Everything about Olivia belongs to Malachi Weiss. Her mind, her body, her soul, her fear, her pain. On Halloween night, he can no longer lurk in the shadows. All he has left is to own her heart, even if he needs to take it. This story comes with extremely triggering content. Please read content warning page. Okay. Wait, I didn't know he went to prison. Huh? And they're foster siblings. That is not what I was expecting. Did I never read the blurb for this ever? I just kind of hearing everybody's reviews on it, and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of want to read that. But I did hear there's a lot of like sister, brother. You know what I mean? During scenes that they shouldn't be saying that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. Do you pick up what I'm putting down? When it comes to these type of dynamics in books, that is the biggest ick for me, and I will absolutely DNF a book if it is too much. And I heard from a lot of my mutuals that read this, it said a lot throughout this duet, the brother-sister thing, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through, but I'm going to try because I heard that aside, the story is really good. So we're going to give it a try. And then I want to read Queen of Chaos by Amelia Hutchins. If you have not read the Legacy of the Nine Realms series and you like dark fantasy, oh my gosh, you absolutely should. Hold on. I do have the first book. Okay. The book is a little chunky. Well, I don't think it's that big. First book has like 590 pages, so just shy of 600 pages. I would say this book is very spice heavy, this one, but going into the rest of the series, it is very plot heavy, like plot, characters. It's so good. If you have never read anything by Amelia Hutchins, then First of all, this is dark. This series is very dark. If you don't like dark books, if a lot of things make you uncomfortable and you have a lot of triggers, I would not recommend this at all. However, if you can read really dark books and you don't have many triggers, I would recommend the series. Legacy of the Nine Realms series is one of my favorite fantasy series ever that I've ever read. This world pulls you in, and it's like nothing that I've ever read before. If you are new here, then I do bookish content on TikTok as well. I can't remember if I read this before I joined Book Talk or if I read this in my very early days of Book Talk. It might have been my very early days because I remember talking about it, but this series is so good. So I really want to read Queen of Chaos, which is I think the fourth book in the fifth. I don't know. I'll put it on the screen. I really want to read Queen of Chaos. That book is out and I have not read it yet because I am just so like, the last book that I read, I think was Crown of Chaos, maybe. That book made me sob. It made me cry, and I was not expecting to cry because the journey that we watch Arya, our FMC, go on from the first book all the way to where she's at now, she gets put through the ringer. She gets put through so much that I don't even know how she made it out alive. I don't know how she made it out stronger than ever, and she's not even done growing yet. And that's saying something because where she is now, like you would not even recognize her from the first book. That's how much character growth she's gotten already, and she's still this also funny, kind of quirky. I don't know. I love her so much. And Knox is our MMC in this book. You are going to hate him. Okay, but by the end, you're probably gonna love him. Not by the end of this book, okay, but by later in the series, you'll start to love him. But throughout most of this series, you are going to have, I don't even want to say love-hate relationship because it could just be a hate-hate relationship. You are not going to like Knox, and I can't even explain to you why without spoiling it. I can't. But just know, if you want something toxic, if you want true enemies to lovers, I'm talking enemies to lovers, battling, like, to the point where you're like, do they even need to be together? Do these enemies need to be together? That's all I'm gonna say. So I do want to continue the series. It is high up on my priority list because this is my favorite series. Okay, next is a duet. I need to read The Loser's Duet by Harley LaRue. I keep saying I'm gonna read this. It's time, because I remember reading The Dare and oh no. Because I remember reading The Dare, and this book, I believe, follows those same characters. I'm so excited. I've heard so many good things about this series. Like, I don't think I've seen anybody, like, especially my mutuals and stuff, really talk about the fact that they didn't like this book. I always see them praising it and saying how good it was. I really trust my mutuals when it comes to book recommendations. So if they're saying it's good, I'm gonna trust them. So this book follows like a former prom queen and bully who used to torment these guys in high school that were like the freaks, the losers. She ends up having like a steamy night with them on Halloween, and that's in The Dare. And then this duet continues their story. So I'm actually not gonna read the blurb on this duet because I haven't. And I just want to go into it knowing it's about the same characters from The Dare, and I just want to experience it and see what's going to happen without like the blurb kind of like telling me what it's about. Okay, so next up is what everybody's talking about. It's what everybody is reading, everybody is raving about because of the show, Heated Rivalry. I don't read hockey romances. I don't read sports romances at all. I don't tend to like them, but the amount of excitement and happiness that I'm seeing out of people reading this book and this series, because people are also reading, I believe it's Game Changers and I think The Long Game, is it? But people are raving about it, and I think it's something that's so exciting. First of all, I do really want to watch it, but I want to read the book first, so that's what I'm gonna do. I just love seeing people talk about queer joy. I love seeing people talk so openly and proudly about queer books, queer joy, and that's what this is. It's not just a hockey romance. Let's be very clear on that. This is a hockey romance, yes, but about queer people. So let's not like gloss over that, because it's literally the point of the book. It's not just a hockey romance. So I really want to read this. One of my bookish friends has been telling me to watch the show, and I am just like, I can't yet. I need to read the book. So I think I would love to start my new year maybe with this. We'll see, crossing my fingers. But let's read the blurb. Nothing interferes with pro hockey star Shane Hollander's game. Now he's captain of the Montreal Voyageurs, and he won't let anything jeopardize that. Definitely not the sexy rival he loves to hate. Boston Bears captain Ilya Rovano is everything Shane's not. The self-proclaimed king of the ice. He's as cocky as is talented. No one can beat him, except Shane. Publicly, they're enemies. Privately, they can't stop touching each other. The smart thing to do? Walk away. Once a few secret hookups turns into a struggle to keep their relationship out of the press, the truth could ruin them both. But for Shane and Ilya, secrecy is soon no longer an option. That sounds a little scary because oh no, I hate when people get outed. Oh my gosh. I do really want to read this though. I also do want to read Game Changer. I'll probably read Game Changer first because I believe that is the first book. And I think that's about Kip and someone. Okay, I keep hearing the name Kip. The next one is Scythe and Sparrow. This is the third book in the Ruinous Love trilogy. This one follows Fionn Kane. He's the younger brother. I really want to read his story. I feel like I'm really gonna like the FMC in this one, mainly because of the second book and just like the vibes that I got from there. So I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna like this one. God, I want to kiss her. I want to feel the heat of her lips against mine. Would she want that? Would she melt against me if she did? Or would the tension I feel between us snap and release something feral inside her, inside me? Dr. Fionn Kane is running from a broken heart, one he hopes to mend in small-town Nebraska, far away from his almost fiancée and his derailed surgical career. It's a simpler life, head down, hard work, and absolutely no romantic relationships. He wants none of the circus he left behind in Boston. But then the real circus finds him. Motorcycle performer Rose Evans has spent a decade on the road with the Silveria Circus, and it suits her just fine, especially when she has the urge to indulge in a little murder when she's not in the spotlight. But when a kill goes weary and she ends up with a broken leg, Rose finds herself stuck in Nebraska at the home of an adorably nerdy town doctor. The problem is, not every broken heart can be sewed back together, and the longer you stay in one place, the more likely your ghost will catch up. I think this is going to be cute. I feel like I'm going to like this one. I think my favorite might be the second one, Leather and Lark. A lot of people did not like that one, but I love that one. I thought it was so good. I have been hearing mixed feelings about this one, so I am a little nervous, but I'm going to go in with an open mind and we're going to see how we feel about it. Okay, next one is one that I feel like is wildly popular, especially on Book Talk. It's The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gellick. I have been seeing so many people talk about this book for so long. I don't know anything about this book except I know that she wears like a cloth around her eyes or something. At least that's what I've seen in like edits, fan art. So I'm not sure what the deal is about that, but I'm really excited to read this. I feel like I want to start reading more fantasy stuff again. I was never really super into fantasy. I love more like paranormal romance. I think those are more fun, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like I want to get back into like more fantasy stuff. And then I really want to read Anathema by Carrie Lake. Now, I read Nocticadia by Carrie Lake, and I love that book. I thought it was so good. I believe this is a dark fantasy that has like some romance in it, but I've heard that it's really fantasy heavy. Now, this one I'm not going to read the blurb on because I do want to go into this one blind. I'm getting the feeling that I'm going to want to just go in not knowing anything and then seeing where it goes. You know what I mean? Okay, so the next one that I really want to read is going to be All Your Bloody Lies by Emma Burns. I constantly hear people talk about this duet on Book Talk, and I feel like I'm out of the loop because I feel like this sounds like something I would really enjoy, but I just haven't gotten around to reading it yet. Seraphi Nora, for a decade, revenge has consumed my every waking thought. My sole desire? To mete out even a fraction of the suffering inflicted upon me by those 5 individuals. They believed they could silence me forever, bury me alive, and leave me for dead. It takes more than mundane means to kill a demon. I'm coming for you all, my sweets. Is it Carice Monroe? I'm not sure. I did hear that the audiobooks came out semi-recently for these, so I do want to listen to the audiobooks so that I can get these names right, but finding the demon responsible for these murders is what brought me to her. But my obsession is what keeps me chasing. Oh, Seraphine, if you believe you'll find freedom from my grasp, you are truly mistaken. I'm coming for you, my little demon. Okay, that's not telling me much, but it's telling me enough to get me interested, okay? You've hooked me. I'm being reeled in. I feel it. Here I come. This one I feel like I am really going to enjoy. A beautiful demoness going on a revenge tour? That sounds like something I would really enjoy, if I'm being honest. I am really looking forward to this one. I feel like it's going to be a really good and really interesting read. And I've been looking for something that's really going to like pull me in, you know? I feel like a lot of books that I've been reading are just like, they're okay, they're cute, they're good, but it's not like something that has really wowed me. I feel like I haven't felt like that in a little bit. So I'm hoping this one will give me that feeling. I feel like it will. Crossing our fingers. Okay, then staying with Emma Burns, I really want to read Heavy. I'm am interested. I believe this one is a step uncle and step niece or something like that. Kalista, everyone has a past, but mine is a storm that never stops chasing me. When my life goes up in flames by my own doing, I'm left with an impossible choice: lose everything I've built or hide out in a remote cabin with a killer. My plan is to rebuild the vacation home where my family once spent summers, hoping it will distract me from the chaos. But there's one major complication. My roommate is way too hot. And who is this too hot roommate? My damn step uncle. He's a convicted murderer with a history as dark as my own, and maybe this cabin isn't the only thing I'm desperate to repair. Okay. Ronan. 15 years behind bars, and freedom tastes no sweeter than my old concrete cell. I'd figured I'd drink myself into an early grave or wind up back in prison. Then, my little stepniece shows up, begging to stay at a place my brother let me live in. She's fixing up the cabin, but I can see it in her eyes that I'm also on the plans for repairs. But I don't need fixing. I'm not broken, just forgotten. She's a beautiful fighter with secrets she's not ready to share. But she's in a cage with a lion. That's been starved for too long. And now that I'm free, I've got an appetite that will only be satisfied by her. Okay. I mean, I've heard, okay, so I did hear that this one was very spicy, but I did also hear that it, like, was also, like, a little bit emotional, and, like, people weren't expecting it to be, like, heavy, as the title says, but I'm interested. I feel like this will be a good read. You know, I love a good dark romance, as long as it doesn't get, again, too step uncle. You know what I mean? I can't do that. I can't do that. I mean, no hate if that doesn't bother you, but for me, I can't do it. But I am going to try this one. I heard this one was good. My mutuals say it's good, so I'm going to give it a try. Okay, and then the final book that I really, really want to read, that is on my high priorities list. It's going to be Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. Now, I have been wanting to read this series. So this is the Skyland series by Kennedy Ryan. I have been wanting to read the second book in this for so long. This Could Be Us. But then I realized that it's a series. I'm not really sure if you can read them in any order, but I will start with the first book. So the first book is Before I Let Go. I don't know if this one is a marriage in trouble or if it's a second chance, like, romance. Let me double check. I usually don't like either, but I'm willing to give it a try because I've heard amazing things about this series. My nose is so itchy. Oh my gosh. Their love was supposed to last forever, but when life delivers blow after devastating blow, Yasmin and Josiah Wade found that love couldn't solve or save everything. It couldn't save their marriage. Yasmin wasn't prepared for how her life fell apart, but she's finally starting to find joy again, and she and Josiah have found a new rhythm. Co-parenting their 2 kids and running a thriving business together. Yet like magnets, they're always drawn back to each other of everything they've once had. Soon, one stolen kiss leads to another, and then more. It's hot, it's illicit, it's all good, until old wounds reopen. Is it too late for them to find forever, or could they be even better the second time around? Okay, I think I'm really gonna like this one. I feel like this one is gonna make me really emotional. I've heard so many people talking about this series that I'm just like, first of all, I just really want to read a Kennedy Ryan book. I've heard such amazing things about her writing style, about these stories that she's able to curate, how she is just on another level of writing when it comes to romance, and I am very excited to experience that. So this is definitely high up on my priorities list for the new year. I'm probably missing like 1 or 2 off this that I can't think of right now and that I forgot to write down because I feel like I'm missing 1 or 2, but I feel like that's good enough for this video. If I think of more, you guys will probably know about it. I feel like I'm really looking forward to this new year. I feel like it's going to be a good one. I'm super excited. But yeah, my friends, that's all that I have for you. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Bye.